Hello ladies and gentlemen, Legatus here, bringing a quick video on Ubisoft not interested in games that aren't franchises. Now the reason I make this video is because my opinion differentiates from theirs greatly, and there are many reasons behind that. Now, he states that there is no more fire and forget, it's too expensive. Now, my response to this is games like The Last of Us, games like BioShock Infinite. Now, you might say BioShock Infinite is part of a franchise, but not really in the same way that they're meaning it. Now, their most popular franchise, which is Assassin's Creed, is a game I'm never going to pick up another copy of, and there is a very good reason behind that. There is very thick story. Popular franchises like Call of Duty don't have that thick a story. I can pick up a Call of Duty, enjoy the multiplayer, and not feel like I have to pick up the Call of Duty before it. And that means yearly it can go up in sales. Now, when you have a game like Assassin's Creed, unless you're having these sort of standalone stories like they're starting to get into now with Black Flag and the Assassin's Creed 3, even though they'll have Desmond carrying them together, if they get rid of that link, then it can start seeing more growth, in my opinion. Now, I was really into Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, but later on fell off the bandwagon, so to speak, as I felt like I had to trudge through story to get the next game, and then all the hype died down because I already knew I wasn't going to play the next game, and so on and so forth. It's another reason why I'm never going to get into Zelda games, because I feel like I have to start at the first one in the beginning of the experience. That's just not the case with other successful franchises. When I go and buy Last of Us, I don't have to worry about anything else. I just pick up The Last of Us. When I go to a movie, most movies aren't franchises, I just go to the movie. You know, there's no second thoughts about picking it up or buying the product. Now, if I were these guys, they say no more fire and forget, it's too expensive. I don't know why they're firing anyone in the first place. I've always been a strong believer that it's not the game, it's the game developers who are creating these masterpieces. You can have the best ideas in the world, but if you don't have the team to put it together, it's not going to be that great. The Last of Us, Naughty Dog, they make amazing games, and they never really drop the ball, and that has brought a following. Ubisoft developers, I can't say much about. I mean, you just kind of know them as Ubisoft developers. They don't have a name, they don't have an identity for me to follow. And that's kind of helps when you're firing people, but again, they're looking at it as a business, and not the way that gamers look at it. Now, I'm not hating on franchises themselves, but more the way that Ubisoft has handled them thus far. There are still games like Zelda that still have a following, but they are not released on a yearly basis. They take their time, they write a good story, and every 2 to 3 years a new release comes out, and most of the people who wanted to play the other Zelda had the time to get through that within that 3-year period. Yearly, I'm not necessarily going to pick up the Assassin's Creed games. I'm a budget gamer for the most part. I'm going to wait until the game's under 30 bucks. Now that's just me, you know? So that's kind of my thoughts on this. Again, like, I'm going to touch on BioShock. BioShock, you can pick up Infinite, not play BioShock 1 and 2, and have a soul experience. A narrative experience that, yes, it pulls from BioShock, but it's not the root of the experience. You don't start off as the protagonist of a previous BioShock or anything. It's very standalone, even within its franchise. And I think if more games did that, then it can be great. But if they really want to have, like, they say Watch Dogs will be the first entry into a long-running series, again, I don't really know the details, but I'm just saying, Ubisoft not interested in games that aren't franchises is kind of a naive thing to say. And then the fire and forget thing is kind of like, what are these people to them? So that's just kind of my quick thoughts on that. Thanks for watching, and post your opinions in the comments section. Yeah, thanks.